Now moving on to our next example in week 3. This assumes you have gone through Blackboard to get the ZY book and you're continuing on. So we're here looking at loops again. This time it's output range with increment of 10. So you're going to write a program that reads 2 integers as input and outputs the first integer in subsequent increments of 10 as long as the value is less than or equal to the second. So you're going to use this as your input, which is going to be placed over here in this input area. And then this is the expected output that you should see here. So I'm going to put in my code. So I'm setting variables. You notice it starts in column 0 there. Variable integer of number 1, number 2, and then integer number to print variable name. So I'm going to get the next input, and that's going to go into number 1. I'm going to get the next input that goes in number 2. So I'm using a simple if-else statement. If number 2 is less than number 1, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use a put to output. String integer can't be less than the first. Okay, so to the output, that's what's going to print out. If that is true, that's what will happen. If it's false, it's going to go to this else statement. And notice here, here's the indentation of 3 spaces for that if. The else is lined up with the if there, right? Here's the indentation of 3 spaces. Now notice this, I have an embedded loop in this else statement. Okay, for number to print is equal to number 1. Number to print less than equal number 2. Print number equals number print plus 10. That's the increment of 10 we're adding there. So notice that information right there. You're going to see the whole line. Then what's going to happen is you're going to put in number to print to output, and then put a space in there to output to give you some spacing. And then it's going to continue in this loop here until it's no longer a true statement, and it's going to exit it. So let's watch what happens here. I'm going to run that at medium speed this time. So I'm going to take my 2 numbers, put it in an input statement, and then I'm going to execute it and run it. So notice it got the first and second, and it jumped over there. Notice how it's now going back in there and incrementing and adding 10. It's going to go through that loop continuously until it's no longer a true statement. Okay, and so in that case, now I'm exiting. And there's my output, and that's what it matches here in the example. So now I'm going to submit for grading. Very important, make sure you do that. If you are stuck on any of that, take a look at the sample code I provided to guide you. And there's my 10 points.